Hello, so we have a game between 9 players, which finished by half a point. That's the smallest margin that can happen in a Go game. So let's have a look. Black started very calm with 2 Komokus, and White attacked right away. This is a bit too aggressive. White should still go for the empty corner, either with a Komoku or a Hoshi or a 5-4 to be on the same page with his first opening move. Playing like this um, allows Black to go for the empty corner, which would be pretty big, because like this Black already has 2 corners and a half against 1.5, so it's a much faster opening. And even if White puts some pressure here, Black can take center and go for one of the Shimaris in the top, or attack the lower left corner to prevent the Shimari in this area. Well, this will lead to a completely different game, but it's playable for both. So White attacks, Black defends, White makes a base. White could ignore this and go back to take the empty corner, and now the game is more balanced. So playing like this, Black got to play in the empty corner, which is good. Now White plays an inside approach. It's fine. White can also play the approach in the top right, the Kakari, to prevent the Shimari right away. But he got that point too. So far so good. Now here Black can think about Keima to defend the corner, or a pincer, or another move on the side would be R13. This usually leads to a Joseki of this kind. And then White can also ignore going down to R18 and extend for a base in the top. Actually, this way White is going to set up a Moyo, and he actually wants that in this particular game. Oops, I think I jump ahead of myself here. So attack again, Black defends, White extends back for the Moyo, and now Black can play away. Very good. This is a very urgent Fuseki point to prevent your opponent's corner enclosures, so it's quite natural to play a move like d3. Now White goes for the slide, but this slide exchange for White, it's not so great unless White continues with a move in the top. So normally White should go back and fix the top like this or like this, because if White plays away, when Black takes center, or even now, Black can invade right away the top side. So if this happens, Black lives in the top, and now the exchange of d18, c17, it's a waste for White. So Black starts to fight here. Now for White to play this Hane and to go for a Joseki that's ladder related, it's not such a great idea. Crosscut, it's quite inevitable here. So normally White should play Atari from this direction and then go up, and when Black connects under, White starts the ladder, but the ladder is broken in this case because Black has a stone at q15. So White is supposed to play Nobi, but this way g4 just leaves more Aji in that area. So White has to choose other Josekis. For example, White can connect solid, Black leaks under, White goes up, Black secures the corner first. This sequence is pretty much forced. Then Black goes up to split White groups, so White needs a base. Black can jump out to fix his shape. White will extend for a base for on the left side. Then it's possible to play an exchange here to reinforce the group in the middle, and then go for a big point like this extension, which puts some pressure on White's base on the right side. Alright, so let's see the actual game. This is quite a monster Joseki. Now if White wants to avoid all these complicated variations, White can simply Nobi and get ahead one more time. Then Black will attach to secure the corner. There are two options here: either block and play a hanging connection, and this way White gets a wall on the outside and then extends all the way to c12 to put pressure on the corner. So then Black protects solid and White can go back and prevent the invasion. This would be quite okay for White. in the given position. Now another option for white here is to push a d4 and cut, and this is just a key. It's usually going to end up like that, but now black can extend on the left side to limit white's influence towards that direction. So this is playable too. The way white played it's a bit questionable, because it made black pretty strong, and then the outside groups are still on the run for white. Now here black went up. Black can consider a move like e5, cut came at the waist. If white goes for one stone this way, how is the ladder by the way? Still not working. Ah, that's painful. But anyway, black can just honey here, so it's a trade. White takes one stone, black takes one stone. So black becomes very thick towards the left side, and white can extend all the way here, but nothing to worry about. So black went up. Now the fight can become a bit tougher, because white can resist like this. But white decided to extend for a base. Now it would be proper for black to capture the stone in a net. Instead of attaching, simply capture, because white still needs to extend for a base on the bottom side. So on the left side, black has a follow-up to continue with the hane or attack all the way from c10, which is good because white stones are still floating towards the middle. Now if white defends the left side, for example c4 and then extends again to c11, black can attack very severe the bottom group, and white is on the run here, which is quite painful because black will build a lot on the bottom side while attacking. So in the actual game, attach and pull back. This is also an option because it makes white over concentrated when white connects. Maybe white should consider the descent. Then black again will go for the capture to keep his stones connected and extend all the way to c12, and now also extend on the bottom. So this way white gets to protect both sides on a very fast pace. So white protected, and black captures a stone in a net. That's a good decision. The turn is no need, so white simply needs to extend for a base. The problem is when white extends here, black attacks from the left side. When white extends on the left side, black attacks from the bottom. Anyway, this turn is just a wasted quadrat, and black can capture the stone in a net. I mean a snapback with this kind of block, because if white comes to tries to go out, black will just attack, and this is a snapback. So playing the block takes away a liberty and makes few extra points for black. If white pushes here, black will capture, then cut, Atari, go down, block, push, push again to create cutting points, Atari, take, and now white has to protect at g2, and black will capture the 3 stones from the outside. So black is still fine in the corner. Probably black didn't read out all that variation, so decided to stay safe with this capture, because now if white pushes, it's a much more clear variation. In fact, in this case, black can capture more. And if white tries some combination in the corner, then those stones will die faster. Anyway, it's not such a big difference between f5 and f6, but when black can play f6, he should consider it. The attack on the left side is very good. That's a nice direction of play. So white has to go out. Normally, white should just play a keima to escape to the center and threaten the invasion on the left side. So when black defends, white can attach again, and white is out in the center. Playing like this gives a very nice shape for black on the left side, and white's group is still cramped and over concentrated. Black doesn't need this double up. Normally, if black wants to protect against the cutting points, the right move is c12, the tiger mouth formation. Because playing a move like this on the left side, white can still come from the middle with the eye still in test to G, so black needs moves like this or like this to protect again. So it's a strange exchange. It's like black had a stone here, white attaches, and instead of playing away, black decides to play inside the b12 to make a bad shape. But anyway, black doesn't have to worry so much about that cut. It's more interesting to invade the top, either at h17 or n17, or play another big point like r10. If white simply cuts here, black can extend and the fight it's okay. So white still feels under pressure with the group, but actually if white wants to secure, it's better to jump out towards the middle. But already locally white can make eyes. So black needs to surround the group first and then hit the vital points to kill it. So this was a little bit slack for white. Now black can play away for a big point. Actually black can come all the way to r10 to put more pressure on the two stones. So here white needs to slide, and then black should also extend for a tiny base on the bottom. Or black can play the kick first, and when white goes up, black attacks all the way at r10. This way white's formation it's a bit more cramped. Anyway, playing r11, I think black is thinking to keep a nice shape with his q15, but it's far away from r8, so white is not really affected uh, by that move. So white is not going to defend. This approach is possible. Black can cover first, which puts pressure on o3, so white has to pull back and then protect s4. That's a nice move to play the Kima, because if white goes down, black is already safe, so black can play away. Anyway, nice idea to play this kind of move, because if black goes Kosumitsuke, white will go up, and then white is threatening to push and cut. So in this case, black either goes down or plays an empty triangle block, which is quite ugly. So the Keima was a nice defense. But before playing away, black should also cover to get a stronger base and also a platform to jump into the middle if it's needed. So now black invades the top. That's a pretty fine decision. I would still invade the h17, but nothing wrong with this. White is playing with fighting spirit here. Black can play a Kosumitsuke first to see whether white goes down or plays the Hane. But either way, this exchange is positive for black, and then play something in the top like the invasion, or even j17, it's an option here, or Kosumi to go out between the groups. But without that exchange, it's also fine. Black can set up a base in the top. So attach in this case. Well, it's a nice option to play j17, because if white covers, black will simply link under and it's already alive, or like this. And if white, if white covers, if white separates, black will just go up. And then black will discard the stone, the original invasion. That's why it's also good to have this Kosumitsuke exchange in place. And then surround the two stones in the top left corner. So it's some sort of trade. Black gives up n17, but goes for the top left. And this is very positive for black. So attach, and white Hane, black crosscut. Crosscut is not even needed here. Simply Nobi, then go out to attack the two stones in the top left to keep things simple. But yeah, crosscut, even if it's not really necessary, it's playable. So white Atari and connect, and then black plays Atari. Black again can think about the Nobi to keep the two stones separated from in the top side. So this corner is not going to communicate with the top area. And now white has to struggle. For example, if white plays a peep or trying to connect to the right, black can still make good shape while attacking. But when playing this Atari, the ladder should work. Yeah, it's fine. So white is not going to escape, but white can play Atari and connect under. In this case, black should capture right away, because when white crawls like this, it's again kind of painful. And now black can jump again in the center to build a pretty nice area in the middle. So connect solid. Connecting solid still leaves the edge of K16, which is trying to go out eventually. Then it's okay. Actually, the one space jump is better. White still needs to connect under in the top like this, and then black makes the wall. The same result happened in the game, but white could try the Hane and then connect, and now it's harder to block, because now when black tries to block, white has the Atari and Atari again and connect. So that's why in general it's better to capture the stone right away. When black leaves the stone on the board here instead of taking it, that stone can still keep some RG and activate later in the game. So white is playing some sort of ladder breaker with this move, but in fact this one doesn't help white escape from the top. So if black plays a one space jump, or black plays a counter attack from the center, when white goes out, black can Atari, Atari again, and then turn the ladder around this way. So it's still not going to hit the stone in the middle, which was supposed to serve as a ladder breaker. So here black can play a bit more active instead of just defending next to the wall. Especially that white doesn't escape. I mean, right now black can play away any kind of move. Let's say attack this group a little bit, and when white comes out, black can still capture it, as we've seen in the previous variation. So black defends, white approaches, black captures, that's good. And instead of Nobi here, black has a very strong wall, so black has to think about moves to come around and surround that group. So if white plays here Atari on one stone, black can surround everything. If white captures one stone, black can play another move and keep the group surrounded, because it only has one eye. Actually, more like half an eye. And the group is still sealed off, so black will capture it on a large scale. So here black played a little bit passive, and white should escape with a jump in the middle. It's dangerous to get too close to the thickness. So the fight is still going on in the middle. Black can play a one space jump to separate the middle group from the left side, or black can think about this kind of key point threatening to cut, and then when white goes back to connect, black surrounds everything, so white is still on the run. And this way black can profit while attacking. Actually here black can think about moves to lean on the bottom side, get a little stronger, and then deliver a much tougher attack in the middle. So white is just running on neutral points now. Black can attach on the right side in order to get stronger, and actually all these moves on the bottom, on the right and on the bottom, they are looking to separate the group in the middle from the other white stones on the board. So black switch to the top side now, and then attack the right a little bit. That's a good decision, because leaning on the right group, it's actually indirectly affecting those stones in the middle. So white is trying to fix the base. Capture a stone in the top right, it's not so urgent right now. It's a big endgame move, but white has other important moves to deal with. For example, jump in the middle to secure those heavy stones, or push one time from the bottom and then separate the corner from the center. Like this, it's a bit more dynamic, so white gets into the center and indirectly defend that group in the middle. So taking here in Gote was a little bit slack. This cover doesn't put so much pressure on white. White doesn't even have to answer here. White can capture this stone anytime to secure ice, So white right now should still worry about the central group. That's more urgent. So hane, then jump again in the top. But this move, it's a move to try to get some points on the right side towards the center. But actually, it's still more aggressive for black to consider an attack on the 3 stones. Any kind of move in the middle, attacking the 3 stones, will naturally give territory to white to black on the right side. So white is busy saving his group, for example, like this. And this way, let's say we just push white towards the top. So black builds that territory on the right side while attacking. Even if black doesn't kill the group, white is just connecting on neutral points. So black comes back to this defense where it just made b12 feel wasted. So here black can think about counter attack, for example peep, and then jump out. So when white cuts on the left side, black can still uh, come from the outside and try to kill everything, because in the end this cut at c11, it's a neutral point if it doesn't work to kill any of the black stones. And now it just feels that white is surrounded, so it's gonna be difficult for white to escape. Ah, that's a misclick, sorry. I meant to connect solid here. So black connects, feeling good about his position. This move is also no need. Black can jump out. If white pushes along, black will bump. If push here, black connects, Atari connect, Atari from the other side connect, so black is all safe. This kind of block is just saving 2 extra points in that area. Finally, white is aware of the cuts and problems in this middle group, so but a jump is more flexible. Jump towards the middle. So attack from the right. This block is also small, no need. Pushing from the other side is better to destroy white's eye shape. Actually, it's more interesting to jump from this direction or again from the center, just to force white go out on neutral points. And then if black plays a few forcing moves on the bottom, then black encloses a very nice territory in the center. So now the game will probably be a bigger difference than half a point towards black's advantage. So this way white lived, and now we switch to endgame stage. We're moving into the small moves. Instead of playing the heavy empty triangle, it's a much better shape to capture the stone. Of course, white will play Atari from behind, but when black takes, the position is solid. So that's a bit more ugly. And black actually doesn't need this move. So if black plays away, let's say the tsuke here, which I like to put pressure on the bottom, when white pushes down, black just hane and it's fine. And when white plays the hane here, black can take the stones. Otherwise, it's a dangerous go. I mean, if black blocks, there is Atari, then Atari from behind. And every time black has to take the ko. But for now, black is fine. So white jumps in the middle to reduce those points. This is a bit too conservative. At least one space jump here to build a few extra points. But it's still more interesting to think about the tsuke in order to separate white's moves. So if this happens and then keima like that, the center stone seems to be separated from the bottom or the top left area. So black very conservative, enclose the middle. Now some jumps in the center, that's good. It's more interesting to play nobi up to be incisive, or hane, and if white blocks Atari, or if white pulls back, then nobi up. Tiger mount, it's an option too. Nobi to the right seems a little bit heavy. Would be good to play nobi up, and then if white protects more against the cuts, then try to separate that L7. So let's see why the game got so close. Finally, a shoulder hit to reduce the bottom, that's good. That's a nice shape in the corner. But black doesn't have to block at A2. Black should keep cente and continue with big points. For example, push, cut once, push again, and then cut the middle stone. So black blocks here in gote. Ooh, actually it was cente. White doesn't need that move unless black will play Atari. So white can defend the middle, then when Atari, connect. No need to connect in advance. So here white lost the move. Then black plays other big points. That's a good Kosumi. And then trying to get the center. So here white should play a double up. I mean a jump to create a dog face and then the group is safe. But now white got in trouble. So black cut some stones in this area. Whoa. This way black makes a lot of territory. This block is not even neat because white is surrounded inside. So black can play one Atari here and then no be like this. And all those stones in the middle are captured. These white stones. Playing this block is minus 1 point because that's already black's territory. And instead of double up here, black can cut first. The Atari cente. And then in order to prevent white going down at J8, black can also play J9. This is also threatening the stones in the middle. There is no way for white to connect on the bottom. If white pushes block, push again, block. It's all fine. So again, those white stones are surrounded and caught in the center. So that's how actually black is getting the advantage to win the game. The push at M3 is good because it creates many cutting points. Atari is fine. No need to capture one stone. Black can push, then push again, and now there are lots of cutting points. So for example, if black plays this inside cut, white captures, Atari, take, and capture 2 stones. Black can also capture the other stones. For example, cut at K2, then Atari H2, and capture these 2 stones. Of course, white can save by connecting under, but it's already a lot of damage. So this is very painful for white. In the end, white builds 3 points to make life. Also, black can start from H2. So when white connects, black takes these guys. If white captures one stone, that's actually bait, and white will take the other stones. Now, when white connects under here, black can force the ice and Atari capture 2 more stones. This will be a disaster. Black wins big the game. So capturing one stone here, it's a missed opportunity to use the cuts on the bottom side. Let's put some marks here to remember in the future. Instead of connecting the ko locally, black can Atari from the outside. Now white captures one stone, black can play away. I mean some kotret, one of these pushes, then take back the ko. Like this, white managed to build a few extra points in the middle, which made the game closer. So black goes out, block. Can black cut instead? I guess it's fine. Hane and capture. Nothing happens in the middle. Even if white connects those stones, white loses a lot on the right side. So in the end, white will just build 1, 2, 3, 4, about 5 points. And black already got the points on the right side, S11, T10, T9, and the capture. Like this, white will pull back and builds about 10 points on the right side. Oh, this block is so slack. So again, the push, push again, and cut somewhere to grab a few points. Or like this. So now block. That's a big endgame move. But even if white connects G2, it's still worth to push push again and cut and capture 2 stones with some surrounding territory. So white didn't protect so well with g2. White actually needs a move like m2. So now when black pushes, there are no more cuts, except that white can capture 1 stone. But overall, sorry, black captures 1 stone, but white keeps most of the group alive and connected. This is a big capture because later on black can play g19. So, oh, the Hane, Atari, block and defend. Very good defense. Well, black can capture the ko first. And actually as a defense, black can think about s14. Because with this move, white can still use the Atari as RG. And then the connection under. But that's already a pretty small difference. So block, push again, block again. And finally, white connected against those cuts. This move is no need. Black is fine in the center. So g19 is a good tesuji to destroy some points in the top. If white resists very brave with f19, black will cut. And then when white tries to surround, black can Atari from the outside and just capture them. Or black can play a cut to prevent the Atari from h19. So now when white blocks, black actually took center because white still cannot approach at h19. So white can play away, and then when white capture, black will play away at n1 and then take the stones in the top. So that's a good tesuji to remember, g19 to reduce some points. Now this move in the middle is not necessary because if black plays away and white cuts, white is still dead inside the center, so nothing to worry about here. This is a defense trying to secure the game, thinking, in a positive way that the game is good, so you don't want to risk anything, but it shows a lack of reading. So white pushes. Now here black can push first, and if white cuts, black can just go down to t2, and the group leaves in the corner, and the cut at q4 doesn't make any points for white. Also, if white blocks at n2 again, black can go down, and if black plays in the corner, white can keep pushing in center and then connect, and now white has to leave. In fact, here I think black has enough liberties to go for the kill. Yeah, black has 6 liberties, and white has only 4, so white is dead. Black was just too conservative now, and probably that's why the game ended up by just half a point. Here white can cut, so Atari connect, Atari go out. Oh, that's a problem, because now black has Atari here and take 3 stones. Okay, my bad. So white doesn't cut, just blocks or plays away. But in that case, oh, this is a 1-point block in Gote. Black can Nobi, because now white is not able to cut. This will happen. So white needs to play a connection, and then black comes back to protect actively. But this block is really no need, it's just 1 point. It's bigger to go down t2 instead, or play Hane f1. That actually happened in the game. So block, pull back, go down, that's very good. This move, black should push first, because again it creates the damage to Maris, so white has to come back and protect. Atari here. Alright, white took a stone in center, that's good. This push is not necessarily center. Black doesn't need to protect yet. Black can capture the ko. Only when white removes the liberty from the outside, black needs to protect. Not in advance. Atari connect, okay. Capture the ko. This is good, threatening to Atari and go down. This ko is also good to take in center. This move is again 1 point block in Gote. So G19 is the last big point on the board right now. And white will even protect at H19. Because if white plays away, first of all this H8 center, the push here will destroy 2 more points. After all the neutral points are filled, white has to play inside at L18. So that's a huge damage. I mean, all these points will disappear from white's top. White went down in center. That's a very good defense. This can be dangerous. Tuck, tuck, tuck. So let's say we have Atari here. Then there is the cut and go down. So if cut, Atari go down, then this move, and now black will play the Hane. So the problem here is if white protects, black can connect under, white needs to take, and Atari again in center. But if white makes the mistake to block right away, black will Atari inside, and then it's impossible to connect. Shortage of liberties. Or if white captures a stone, it's a disaster like this. So much RG on the bottom, but playing Hane is also good enough. Oh, now it's a perfect combination to play Atari and then cut. If white plays the Atari from below, just capture everything. And if white Atari from the outside, go down. Now when Atari from the right, this is self Atari, black will capture. When Atari from the left, black can play the throw-in. So there are not too many options. I mean, white can take 2 stones, but he loses the tail, which is very big. And if white connects here, we're back to the shortage of liberties, or everything is dead. So black missed another opportunity to punish white. The Hane was very good. Start with the Hane, and then normally white should just play H1. But now, once again Atari, then connect. On this connection, white should play K1 and just give up 1 more point. Because if he connects, again we have this move and go down. And now everything dies. Because there is no way for white to approach one side or the other. This is self Atari, and this is also self Atari. Alright, back to the game. Oh, okay, white connected. And playing this move is actually a neutral point. Black should push in center on the right. 1 more point. Because if white plays on the left side and then fill the ko, if white plays here, black can push. And there is no point there. And if white plays on the right, black can turn. And again, there is no way to build another point. So if black pushes here, white blocks, then black connects a ko, white connects a ko, and then fight for the last ko. The game can be won by 1.5, not half a point. So feel, and fight the last one. It's better for white to play Atari from the inside, so he has another ko threat later. Like this is just 1 ko threat. And black doesn't even fight the ko. So black has how many threats? First of all, this one locally, it's a threat. In the top, cut, Atari. Wait, maybe there's a better one. No, just 2 here. Then on the left side, this. In the middle, this. On the bottom, Atari go out. Atari connect. Atari take. Peep on the right side. Hane. Cut. There are so many. So black had plenty of ko threats, which means black should fight for that ko. Oh, I still play this side. What actually lost the game playing that move? So if white doesn't play there, just fill the neutral points and pass. Even if black goes here, white can block. If black plays Hane, white can block. Black cannot make an eye. So this is 1 eye versus no eye. Which means in the last move, white lost the game. But I think black was lucky capturing all these stones in the center, and then white was lucky not to lose some stones on the bottom. So quite a spectacular game. Enjoy the review.